Hello everyone. Sorry about that. I don't know what happened with my connection. But welcome everyone to my third live. Today's a really special one and fun one. So welcome. Again, my name is Camila, and I just want to talk a little bit about Early Childhood Week because we are from November 15th through November 21st. We are on Early Childhood Week. And the theme from this year is prevention. So, Early Childhood Week is an opportunity to engage in a dialogue and promote awareness about this critical stage of development and inspire decision making, this, um, inspire decision makers and the public and parents and allies at large to seek out concrete ways to show support. So it is really important to take action starting from pregnancy even onward and initiating early screening, identifying, for example, socioeconomic conditions that impact early childhood development, and implementing various efforts as parents, as caregivers, in a role as children's first teachers. But remember, we all have to work together to build caring communities that our young children need. So, in Early Childhood Week is a central hub for parents, communities, allies, and elected officials to share their experience, show us hands-on experience, to forge the foundations for the communities moving forward. So, during this week, let's check in how our littlest citizens are faring. And to do that, I'm going to talk a little bit about nutrition this week, why it is so important for children. Also, I have a great fun activity, so don't go. We're going to do a science lab with food. Okay, so why is nutrition so important for early development? As you know, the nutritional quality of our diet affects our well-being throughout our lives. But it has an even greater impact on children whose bodies and minds are still growing and developing. So, nutrition dictates more than the person's body weight. The nutrition a child receives during the first years of life can affect their health for years to come. Balanced nutrition is important to child development because children need specific nutrients to thrive and grow. Poor nutrition can result from lack of food as well as overeating. Um, but proper child development relies on solid nutritional foundation, which includes the correct amount of each nutrient. And I know it is important for parents to care about these things, but it's also important for children to know how food works, right? Because food is not only delicious, but it can also be fun. So that is what we're in for today. We're in for a treat because we can eat some of the experiments. So, welcome to the Science Lab experimenting with food. Yay! Okay, so let me just get set up real quick. I'm gonna turn my computer so we can see some of the ingredients and have some more space for experimenting. And meanwhile, you can go and get your child or just, okay, okay, fun. Okay, so our first experiment, we're gonna probably see results at the end of this live, but we're gonna talk about apple oxidation, okay? So what do we need for these experiments? Pretty easy. We need an apple or apples. So I got this little apple. We need vinegar. So I got my vinegar. Let me just put this a little bit down so you can see. We've got milk. Oh, you can't see it, but well, I put some milk on this little bowl. And we got baking soda, and we got lemon juice. Wait just a second. I'm going to just get the lemon. Okay, I'm back. So here's our lemon. I already have it cut in half. And these ingredients really important. We also need little bowls to put our apple. And here you are going to need your parents' help. So parents, please be around. We're gonna get our cutting board and our knife. Dangerous, it's sharp. So please do this with your parents. We're gonna wash our apple because we might eat it later. And we're gonna cut it, okay? Just cut it in little pieces. Again, be careful, be careful, be careful. Okay. Okay. So you're probably wondering, or have you ever seen, like you cut your apple and then you come back at lunch and it's brown? Why does it happen? Can we prevent it? So, in every experiment, I'm just gonna get a little bit science nerd here. In every experiment, we have our control group, which is the things that we don't mess with, like we don't put anything on, and our treatment group, which we do the experiment in, right? So our control group here, or our control slice, is going to be this apple slice. Okay, we're gonna leave it. We can leave it in our cutting board. Okay, we're not going to put anything on it. We're just gonna let it be. Okay, on our next one, we're gonna put on our milk. You cannot really see the milk that good. Well, we have milk here. Okay, we're gonna put the slice of apple on our milk. Okay, we can turn it so both of the sides are milky. Okay, and then we can set it aside. And then for one of our most important ingredients, we're gonna take our lemon. Also, if you already have lemon juice, you don't need to squeeze the lemon. But if you don't, like me, you are just going to have to squeeze it. Okay, so I'm just gonna squeeze the lemon. Well, another good trick also is just like you can like do this with the lemon and pass it through so the juice of the lemon is on your apple, okay? So you can squish it when you do it. We're gonna put that here. Okay, we're gonna set it aside on our plate. And we are going to take our other slice. I'm gonna just do another one for this one. Okay, and we're gonna put some vinegar here. Okay, I'm gonna leave it here, put some vinegar on. No, you don't need that much, a little bit. Okay, so now we have our plate with vinegar. We have this one is with lemon, and this one is with milk. You see the milk? Yeah. And we have our control group here that we're not going to really touch. And the other one you just can eat. Good. Okay. So we're gonna set it aside. We're gonna come back for this experiment to see how if they do grow brown, if they don't. Okay. I'll just put this aside. But what is the science behind this? So you know when you cut the apples, the fruit is exposed to the oxygen in there. So the air that we all breathe, they're exposed to that, which is the main cause of the slices to turn brown. So this experiment explores how the different apple slices that we put with the different ingredients, milk, lemon juice, vinegar, or just the one that we left, how they react with our apple, with our sliced apple. Okay. Um, I'm probably going to spoil this a bit, just in case we don't see a full effect after the couple of minutes that we're going to do this experiment. But our lemon juice is going to be the key ingredient here, as I mentioned before, because it is super acid, super sour, right? Have you ever tasted lemon? It's super acid and like sour and everything. So what is going to happen is that the lemon juice is going to shield the apple. So as it shields, the oxygen is not going to be able to come through to the apple first. It will attack the lemon juice first. So all the kind of technical term and science of the lemon juice are going to act as a shield. And our apple is not going to go brown, but eventually it will, because as you know, any shield, it will consume, it will break, and eventually the apple is going to go brown. But let's see. At the end of our video, let's see how that ends up, okay? Another fun experiment is the rainbow celery. Who doesn't like colors, right? I love colors. I don't like celery that much, but it's a great snack. So, kids, eat your celery and other vegetables and fruits. So, what we need for this experiment is really simple. Oh, sorry. We need a jar with water, not that full, not that, like, I filled it like halfway. And we need our celery, okay? You're going to see the results of this experiment a lot if you have celery with the leaves. I know that they sell sometimes the celery without the leaves, but be sure to get the one that has the leaves. Okay, so I got multiple ones. I'm going to choose the one that's more leafy, so I'm going to get this one. And again, I'm going to get my cutting board. Parents, please assist, so we don't have any injuries on our kitchen, on our science lab, okay? So you're gonna cut a little the stem, not that much, so we can see clearly the inside. You're not probably going to see that well, but it's simple. Without any color, you cannot see. Actually, you can see a little dots. Can you see a little dots? If yes, let me know. There are little dots in the sea, right? So we have our cut celery, we have our water, and the other key ingredient here is, for a rainbow, what do you need? Colors, right? So I'm gonna get red because I love red. I'm going to put some red on the water. So you can put like 5 to 8 drops or more. If you put more, you will see more results. So I'm just going to put a lot. And I'm going to need a little spoon, please. I have little minions behind the cameras. Thank you. So we're going to just twist this around. Nice color red. Okay, when that is all in, we're gonna get and put our celery, first the stem, on our jar, okay? Oop. And that's it. That's the whole experiment. And because another key ingredient is patience. Because celery takes some time to absorb the water, the colored water, you're gonna have to wait a little bit, about 1 day, to see the celery come to life. So you can do this with different colors. As I mentioned, red is my favorite, but you can do it with different colors. And don't be disappointed, because I will upload the pictures to the comment section, and we will pin that comment. and I will show you a little bit how that looks. But for now, I'm just gonna show you a quick picture of how the celery will look like. Okay, so here the first celery is with blue, and then we have here with yellow, and we have red on the down part. So this is how the leaves are going to look after the celery absorbs the color water, right? So you can have full celery, rainbow. And here is, remember that I showed you the stem? This is how the stem will look. You see those points that I mentioned before? They are really prominent now. And you're probably asking, but what is that? Or your child might be asking, how? How is the celery changing colors? And the answer is that the plants absorb from the roots. They absorb nutrients. They absorb water. So we have the water here, and this process is called transpiration. And as you know, or maybe you don't, the plants make their own food. Isn't that amazing? That's great. I wish I could make my own food. But they do through the process called photosynthesis, and they need water. So they absorb the water, and through those stems and those little points that you saw, the water goes up to the plant. So that is for every plant. The big trees, they have these, and they absorb the water and push the nutrients to all the parts of the plant. So that's why when the water travels into the celery, through the celery stem and into the leaves, the color is going to stay there while the water evaporates. But the color won't. So you will end up with a rainbow celery. Yes. Okay. So, I know we're having so much fun here. And I have another experiment for you. This one is floating oranges. And I didn't have oranges, but I had clementines. So you can, the ingredients are pretty simple. Again, for this one, you're going to need one orange or clementine. You're going to need a container so you can see what happens. So just fill it with water, 3/4 of the cup. It's fine, and you obviously need water. So, in this easy science experiment, we're gonna make our kids explore and test how these, the density of these, it's going to interact with the water. What's going to happen if we put it there? I don't know. Will it sink? Will it not? You can answer to the poll below that I'm going to just air now. Okay, sorry. Okay, so you should see the poll now. So let me know what will happen. So what we're going to do is first let your child weigh in their hands the little the clementine or the oranges. Oranges are a little bit more weighty, right? So let them feel also the skin. How does the skin feel? Does it feel like it has like some indentations, or is really like no texture at all? So now to the experiment. It is kind of not super heavy, but it does have some weight, right? So let's see if what you answered on the poll is correct or if it is not. We're gonna drop it, okay? Are you ready? It floated. Yes, it did. So, Hope you answered correctly. If not, now, if you bet on it, you probably lost or you won. Who knows? Now, it floated. So you're probably asking why. And I'm going to answer to that question after we do another experiment with the same. It's part of the same experiment. But we're just going to take the skin off, okay? So take your time taking the skin off. If you have nails, it's really um, easy. um, but yeah, and this really smells super nice. So just take the skin off, and I know you're probably thinking, I want to eat that clementine now, um, and I do too. But we're gonna eat it after, because I did say that we can eat some of the experiments. Da-da-da. Okay, so we have our clementine without the skin. Will it float or will it sink? Make your bets. The bets are on, okay? Again, we have the water, our little jar, and we're gonna drop it. It sank. Oh well. But you're probably asking why. This should weigh the clementine should weigh more with the skin on, right? Because we do weight more with our skin, with our our skin on, but with our clothes on. Why did it sink? Well, as the orange peel is heavier, there's this concept called density, but I'm not going to get that much into it because I know this experiment for kids. But objects with a density more than 1 gram per milliliter can float if they're in water. Okay, but the orange with the peel floats. The first that we did with the peel, it floats because of the pores of their skin. So remember that we made the child like sense the skin. It did have some pores, and they are filled with tiny, tiny air pockets. So these pockets of air help increase the buoyancy of the orange. And the buoyancy of the orange, or the buoyancy, is kind of like the tendency of an object to float in fluids because there's like a force that is put on the objects. But because this force increases with the porosity of the skin, it helps the orange to become less dense than the water, so the orange will float. On the other hand, when you remove the peel, the tiny little air pockets are no longer there. It is more dense, but it is density and weight are different. So the skin might make it feel heavier, but it will be without the skin, it'd be more lighter, so it will float. So one sank, the other didn't. You can still eat these. Have fun. Okay. And now let's move to our last experiment. This is a really great one. I'm gonna need my raisins, please. They're there. My little helpers. And this experiment is called dancing raisins. Okay. How fun is that? Can I have another jar, please? An empty jar. An empty jar. Okay. So, we're gonna need Uh, too many. Three, uh, two ingredients, one material. So one, again, we need a jar, and we need, as I said, our raisins. You cannot see them correctly, but here we have some raisins, and we need club soda or any bubbly beverage that you can find. And if it is unopened, is best because it has a lot of gas. So this one again is really easy. A tip for this experiment is to separate the raisins before you do the experiment, because if they are together they won't work as well. Okay, now that we have our separate raisins, you're gonna fill your little jar or container with your club soda, or in this case it's just like natural spring water. Okay, now open it. Whew. Gassy, gassy, gassy. Okay. Okay. Now we're gonna fill this jar, okay? It sounds really nice. Can you hear it? I don't know if you can, but great ASMR. Okay, now that we fill our jar, our raisins have prepared this performance for you for months. They've been dancing they've been practicing for so long, and they've been waiting for you to see them dance. So, we're gonna take some raisins. Another tip is that if you want to get the smaller ones and the medium ones, they will work best for the experiment, okay? So we're gonna watch. I'm gonna put these, let's select one. Which? Okay. So I'm gonna put 2 raisins on. And they are ready for their performance. Okay? So we're gonna drop them. Ooh. Okay. So what we're going to see is now. Oh, you're not going to see. Okay. It already started dancing. The lighting is a little bit too much, but we're gonna put some more raisins on. There's one here. If you can see, it's floating. The other one is still taking on some time because, performance takes some time. But I'm gonna put another one, and you can put as many as you want. And you saw the one that was on the top, it fell down, but they will continue dancing, and you will probably, or your child will probably be asking why. How did they dance? Why are they going up? Where are they going down? The reason is that the bubbles, they are coating them. It's like it's their performance, right? So they have their costumes on, and the bubbles, they attach to their skins, right? And at first they sink to the bottom. I'm gonna steer this a little bit, and now, oh, did you saw that? Okay, so I'm gonna steer this a little bit. But yeah, so they take their time, but when they put their costumes on, meaning bubbles, they start dancing. There it goes. You see? It comes up, it goes down. I'm just gonna separate them a bit so they can do their thing alone. But yeah, so what happens is that at first they will sink, and they're taking a little bit of time, but some of them are more prepared than others, and they're like dancing more, right? But because the soda has all this gas and all these bubbles, it, as you see, the bubbles are going up, right? You see bubbles going up. The bubbles always want to get out. They don't want to be in the water. So they act like little tiny but flotation devices for our little raisins. They coat them and they take them up, okay? Or they make them dance, as I like to say. Um, and you're probably asking, but why? Why are they going down again? And why are they moving up again? Okay? So, the thing is that, as you know, one of the when the bubbles come up with the raisin, they uh, they are already going out, right? They're breaking the water and they are going out. So the raisin again falls and has to get more bubbles on their skin. So when more bubbles attach, it will come up again, and it will go down and up and down and up. Oh, there it goes. Yeah. So it also works best with fresh raisins. Another tip. These are little old raisins, but they can still dance a little bit. So every time the bubbles come up, they liberate our raisins. The raisins fall, and then the process will continue and continue once again and once again until the gas of our soda or if our natural spring water is done. There's no more on it, so it will the raisins will sink as our clementine without the skin did. So just give it a stir. Oh, there it goes. Right? I'm just gonna give it. Oh, that was really dancey. I don't know if you can see it, but there's one that's coming up and down, up and down, up and down. So it's a really great thing to practice with your child. You can also, you know what, if you have really fresh raisins and you have your club soda and everything, you can build a little scenario here, and you can do it with a larger container, and you can put a painting at the back, and you can watch it, right? So it will go down and back, and they will dance across your little scenario. So feel free to get creative with it. You want to draw something and put it back in a paper, do it. It's really fun, okay? Oh, okay, just give one more steer. There it goes. Yay. Okay. So let's come back to our apples. Just to finish it off, let's come back to our apples. I'm gonna get our control apple, as I said. No, this is the one I ate. Okay, so you're not going to see a lot of changes, but here, oh, here is the apple that I didn't put anything on. Okay, can you see already the lines here? They're getting a little bit browner. Here, the edges, they're getting browner too, right? And as the longer you leave them out in contact with air, the longer it will go brown, right? So these are our control group. Now we're gonna go for the lemon ones, okay? Look at it. You see, there's no really lines. Well, those are some of the little things from the lemon, but there are no really lines there, or on the other side of the apple. Not major lines, no major browning. It is actually pretty good. And if you put some like cinnamon on, a little bit of sugar, it tastes really good with lemon. So you can try that out. Let's see what we put here. I put here vinegar. Okay, you may think vinegar is also sour and sour, right? But look what happened. This one also got a little bit brown, right? Can you see the brown? And here also, if I turn it, yeah, it's more brown. So that's vinegar with milk. Okay, I've never put apple on milk, but let's see how our experiment went, okay? So I'm gonna get, this is the part that was a little bit exposed to the air with milk. So you can see on top here, here, it's a little bit brown. But if I turn the other way with milk, it's not really that bad. It's not brown that much. There are some lines, but not super, oh, yeah, there are some browns, yeah. It is browning a little bit, but not as much as the one with air, right? So we have some browning on the lines, but the one with air was getting really brown, okay? And that is it for our apple experiment. As I said before when we were here, the lemon one was our key ingredient because it didn't really let the apple get that brown, right? It looks really fresh. So the shield of the juicy, apple juice, it really helped to protect it. Whereas the other ones didn't help a lot. The vinegar, it still got brown. The milk, it was getting a little bit brown, not super brown as the one outside. Well, you cannot see it super good, but this is the one outside. It's getting a little bit like orangey and brown. So yeah. So if you don't want things to get like oxidated, oxidation to happen, make sure to put some lemon on it. And yeah, those are our fun experiments for this week. I hope you enjoyed them as much as I did because I'm a super curious person and I had tons of fun doing this. And if you ever want to come back to these experiments, all our Facebook Live videos from all the volunteers are saved on the videos tab, on the Facebook of Connections. So you can just go check them out. And thank you so much for being here today. And for the ones that are watching later, hope you have fun. Thank you, Natalie, for being here and your amazing comments. And I will post what happens with my red celery that I'm sure will get red, okay? So stay tuned for that. And if you do any of these experiments, make sure to comment below how they went. If you have pictures, we can make a collage of your rainbow celeries, okay? So great. Have a great night or a great day whenever you're watching this. And that's it for today. See you next week. Bye.